Now it will call the second diff function from this. Now what is the new mid value for this diff? L is 2, H is 2, so mid value is 2, correct? Now, so okay, now for this, since L not equal to H, sorry, this will not be calculated. So here L and H is equal, so again it will come back to this position. Okay, now from this div, see it is 0 0. It means what is the element? 0 0 means it is 5. Now for this div, what is the element? Hello. Okay, for this div, this div, what is the element? The element is 11. So in this way it will divide the array again and again, and after all this division, similarly for this particular division, this is the first division called, the next division will be like this, div is the second division. Second division is from mid plus 1 to h. So what is mid? Mid is 2, mid plus y 3 to h means 5. It means this is 0 to 2. So one sub array, for this the sub array is from there to there. For this the sub array is from there to there. See, 3 to 5. Again this one will call the division function. So what is the mid value for this? 3 plus 5 by 2, it means it is 4, correct? So it will call the diff function for 3 to 4, L2 mid, first diff function. Now for this diff function, this is L, this is H, so again it will calculate the mid. What is the value of mid? 3 plus 4 by 2, it means it is 3. So one part is div 3 comma 3, another div mid plus 1, another div is this one mid plus 1 to h, it means div 4 to 4. Okay, for this the third function is, this is the first function, this is the second function, now the third function means the merge. So 3 3 means the element is, the element is 3 here, 4 4 means the element is 9 here. These two are merged in using this merge function. These two are merged, so this is the merge function, and these two are merged means this will, this one becomes 3 9. Okay, now for this diff function, the next diff function, what is the next diff function? The next diff function is from mid plus 1 to h, 5 to 5. 5 to 5 means the element is 1. Now for this diff function, there is the third function, that is the merge. So this merge will merge this and this one. So this will return after merging 1 3 9. Similarly this will return, the merge one is 2 5 11, correct? Now for this diff function, this is the first diff, this is the second diff, now the third one is the merge. Third one is the merge, so these two will be merged together. Now we have already done the merging. First one is compared with the second one, which one is smaller? 1. Then 2 is compared with 3, 2 will be copied. Then 5 is compared with 3, 3 will be copied. Then 5 is compared with 9, 5 will be copied. Then 11 is compared with 9, 9 will be copied. Then left 11, so 11. So this is our final merge array. So in this way, this two div will be called in tree structure, and this merge will be called. Okay, see, for this div function, there is one is 0 to 0, another div is from mid plus 1, mid is 0, so 1 to 1. So 1 to 1 means this is element 2. For this diff function, there is one merge function. This will merge these two elements. So this will return 2 comma 5. This will return 11. So 2 5 11 is merged using this merge function. So this will return the final merge. So in this way, all this merge function along with two division function, see the two division function and this merge function, actually this merge function is merging these two elements which is already done in the division functions. Then this div function divided it into 2, 5 and 11. These three elements are merged using the merge function, and finally we are getting the this sorted array. Then from this part we are getting this sorted array. These two sorted array are again merged using this level merge function, which will give us the final sorted array. So this is all about the merge sort. So I've already done this merge sort. What you have to do, you have to just write it and you have to run it to check whether it is okay or not. Finally we have to compute the time complexity, and this case the time complexity is very simple. And remember one interesting thing, in case of merge sort, for both cases, whether it is average, worst or best, same time complexity will be generated. Why? Because whether it is sorted or unsorted, it does not check in this merge sort. It will purely divide the array and then it will perform the merging. So in all the cases, same calculation or same time complexity calculation you have seen in other sorting. There must be some best case, there must be some worst case, but in case of merge sort all the cases are same. And if you try to understand, see the division function is actually dividing n number of elements. First it is dividing into calling the first division where there are n by 2 elements, then it is calling the second division where there are n by 2 elements, then it is calling the merge function which is merging this 2n by 2. When we are performing this merging, we are actually comparing each and every element. So how many comparison is required for merging? We required n number of comparison. So the time complexity recurrence relation will be like this: T of n is equal to, if this is T of n, obviously this one is T of n by 2, this one is T of n by 2, and this one purely required how many comparison, n number of comparison, because it is merging two n by 2 subarrays. So you can say that the time complexity is like this plus c into n. For one comparison, if c time is required, then for n comparison we required c of n. So finally the recurrence relation is same as the quick sort best case time complexity. So if you further divided it, first for T of n by 2, then for n by 2 square, you will get that it will follow the time complexity of order of n log n. I am not going to uh, calculate the whole function because we have already done it in our quick sort best case. So it will give you n log n. So in case of merge sort, the time complexity, all the cases, average, worst, best is n log n. Okay, so this is all about merge sort. If you have any query, you can ask me. Otherwise I will move forward to our next sorting, which is very interesting. If you have any query, you can ask me. Okay, so far we have discussed the time complex, we have discussed different sorting technique, and the time complexity of those sorting technique is, in worst case, the best time complexity is order of n log n. Remember this, in worst case. Now can we improve this? Can we perform it in better way in case of sorting? Now suppose there are some elements like this. We are considering single digit non-duplicate elements. Suppose the elements are like this: 5, 3, 6, 1, 2. I have to perform one sorting, and so that the time complexity is order of n. I have to perform some sort of sorting for this so that the time complexity is order of n. Okay, I hope it is clear. So far we have discussed different sorting: bubble, quick, merge, selection, insertion, and for all those sorting, the worst case, best time complexity. Worst case, in case of worst case, if you remember, bubble sort order of n square, selection sort worst case order of n square, insertion sort worst case, if we improve, order of n log n, quick sort order of n log n, merge sort order of n log n. So what is the best time complexity in case of worst case? This is the best time complexity. Now question is, can I improve this? Can I implement one such sorting which is able to perform this in order of n for this particular set of elements? And the answer is yes, there is one sorting which will easily perform it in order of n. But for that, what we have to do, we have to consider one auxiliary array. So again, it is one kind of external sorting because we require some external memory, and the external memory size will be of 10 elements. Remember this is fixed, of 10 elements. And then what I will do, I will write it like this. Suppose this is C and this is my original array A. So these are the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And suppose I'm just writing a simple for loop where I'm writing I equal to 0, I less than n, where n is the number of elements, I plus plus. Then inside this for loop, and we have seen the, in case of other cases, we have to perform nested for loop, but here we are using only a single for loop. And if I write it like this, just see the writing: C of A of I, C of A of I equal to A of I. If I write it like this, then what happened? So this is my C. So C is like this, of 10 elements, correct? I have already told you that the size of C is there fixed. Okay, from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is C. So this is my A. So I is 0. So what is the element? A of 0 means 5. So here is 5. So here 5. I 0 means A of 0 is 5. So C of 5. So this one. What I am putting in C of I am putting A of 0. What is A of 0? 5. So I have put 5 here. Then I plus plus. A of 1. What is in A of 1? 3. So this position, C of 3, this position, what I am putting? 3. So 3 will be put here. Then comes I plus plus. Next element 6. So C of 6. So I am putting 6 here. Then again I plus plus. So what is the next? 1. C of 1. What I am putting in C of 1? 1. Then I plus plus. What is there? 2. So C of 2. I am putting 2 in C of 2. Now see the array. Now see the C array. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. It is sorted. It is sorted. So here I have used one interesting sorting technique which never compared. Have you seen I have compared two elements here? Never compare two elements. In any other sorting, whether it is bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, you have to compare one element with another element. But here I have never compared two elements. I have just put it in its proper position, and I have used only a single for loop. So what is the time complexity? Obviously the time complexity is order of n, and my array is sorted. So this is one initial step of another interesting sorting where no need to compare two elements. It means if a person don't know mathematics, only knowing the symbol. So I have some symbol. Suppose if I draw it like this, there are some buckets. There are some buckets, boxes. Okay. There is some numbers written in the boxes. 0, 1, 2, like this. So person, what he have to do? He will just see the picture. This is a picture, and it will compare with the picture of this, and it will be put into this position. Then it will check the picture, not number, consider it as a picture. So he will check the picture, then he will search with whom it is matching. It is matching with this box, so it will put the value into this box. In this way I will get the sorted array. If I collect this array element, if I collect this element from there, I will collect it 1, then 2, then 3, then 5, then 6. It means my array initially is 53621, 53621. Now it becomes 1 2 3 5 6. It is sorted. So here no need to compare two elements, no need to understand which one is greater than which one. Just you have to run a for loop to put the elements. So one illiterate person can also perform this sorting by comparing the picture. By comparing the picture, he can easily perform this. Now I have taken one particular case for this. What is this case? This is single digit, correct? See, I have not used double digit elements, no duplicate elements. I have not used any duplicate elements. I have not used any negative elements. So these are the conditions for this particular sort, and this sorting is called radix sort or bucket sort, because we are using some auxiliary buckets. Now radix mean actually base. Since I am sorting the digital decimal numbers, what is the base of decimal number? It is base is 10. So that's why I have taken 10 buckets. If I have to sort say alphabets, okay, if I have to sort alphabets, I have to take 26 buckets, because there are 26 different alphabets in English. Okay, so based on the base of the number or the elements which we are going to sort, I have to consider the auxiliary array size. If the base is 10, then I will consider 10 elements auxiliary array. If the base is 26, if it is octal number, I have to take base of 8 elements. So it based on the base. So that's why it is called radix sort or bucket sort. Now what happened if there is some duplicate elements or two digit elements? What if two digit elements or duplicate elements? In that case, the bucket will be, instead of 1D array, the bucket we have considered initially the bucket of 1D array. See, this is C is 1D array. If there is duplicate elements or two digits elements or two or more digits elements, then we have to consider 2D array. We have to consider 2D array. Okay. Now suppose just I am showing how to implement this sorting. So suppose the elements are 12, 123, say 56, then say 37, then say 86. Suppose these are the elements. Okay, so I'm considering one 2D array like this. 2D array, the base is 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, okay, so this is suppose our auxiliary array C. This 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so first what we have to do, we have to sort these elements on the basis of unit digit first, because there is more than one digit elements. So first you have to sort them based on unit digit, then you have to go for say 10th digit. Okay, then you have to go for 100 digit, then for 1000. In this way we have to perform the sorting. So for this, so let us perform this, then we will try to understand how to implement it. So for this 12, what is the unit digit? Unit digit is 2. So where I will put it? I will put it in this array, because I am just putting it, no comparison. Then the next element, what is the unit digit? 3. So I will put it in this position. Clear? Next element 6. So I will put it into this position. Correct? Then the next element, what is the digit? 7. So I will put it into this position. Sorry, 37. Next element, unit digit 6. See, that's why I have taken 2D array. So 6. So I will put it into this position. Now I will collect all these elements. So first 12 one by one, 23, then 56, then the next 86, then the 37. Now see, these elements, after collecting these elements are now sorted on the basis of its unit digit. See, 2, then 3, then 6, 6, 7. Now I have to go for 10th place. So I have already withdrawn this element, so these elements are no more in this position. Okay, no more in this position. So now I will go for the 10th digit. So this is for 12, the 10th place is 1, so I will put it in this position. For this 10th place is 2, so I will put it into this position, 123. For this 10th place is 5, so I will put it into this position. For this 10th place is 8, so I will put it into this position. For this the 10th place is 3, so I will put it into this position. Now again I will collect them. So first I will collect 12, then 123, then 37, then 56, then 86. Now see, it is now sorted on the basis of its 10th place, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Okay, now we will go for the 100th place. For this, what is the 100th place? 0. So I will put it here. So I have already taken this. Then for this, it is 123. So 123 will come here, 1. Then for this again 0. For this again 0. 100th place is 0. For this 100th place is 0. Okay. Now I will collect them. Now if I collect them, I will get 12, 37, 56, 86, then 123. See, this is in sorted order. So in this algorithm, I have never compared two adjacent elements or any two elements. I have just checking the place value, and then I am putting it in its proper box. So this is one box, one bucket for 0. This is one bucket for 1. This is for 2. In this way, how many buckets I have used? I have used 10 buckets, because this is decimal number and the base is 10. So this is radix sort. In this sorting, how many times I have repeated this operation? It based on the maximum number, and the maximum number having how many digits. It based on this, how many digits in the maximum number. Based on this, you have to perform the iteration. The number of iteration is based on the maximum number and how many digits on the maximum number. Okay, now you have to copy all the elements, then you have to collect all the elements. So again, it based on the base. What is the base? What is the radix? And then we are copying the elements and then again putting it in the bucket. So how many components? So the time complexity is purely based on first the digits in maximum number, then the radix base, and then the number of elements. So this decide the time complexity. This is digits in maximum number, this is base of the number system, and this is how many numbers. Now see, if this d digits is much less than n, I have 100 elements and the maximum number having 3 digits, then we can say d is much less than n. Then we can ignore this d, and this r is actually a constant term. This base is a constant term, so now we can ignore this. So time complexity becomes like this. If d is equal to n, what does it means? It means I have 100 elements and the maximum number having 100 digits. Then this becomes n into n, because r is a constant, so it becomes order of n square. Okay, so the time complexity is purely based on number of digits in maximum number, base of the number system, and how many numbers I have used. If it is satisfying this type of equation, then we can say we can complete it within order of n. So now for today, you have to implement this radix sort. You have to implement this radix sort using 2D array. This type of 2D array. So this is your today's assignment. Implement the radix sort using C language. So this is your today's assignment. Okay, merge sort I have already written. See, this radix sort is not in your syllabus, but this is very interesting sorting, so that's why I have covered it. If you are not able to write the code, I will definitely help you, but try to implement it. How to implement? You have to take one by one the digits, then you have to put it in its proper position. In this way you have to implement. Try to implement it. If not able to implement, I will definitely help you.